What's up everybody, my name is Jesse and today I want to talk to you about a brand new scam that's going on eBay. And this one unfortunately is even scarier than the last one I talked about a month or two ago. Now if you haven't already watched the last video, I'll go ahead and link it at the end of this video. So don't go anywhere and let's get into it. So this new scam that we're going to talk about today is actually again a variant of an old scam. It seems like these scammers are just basically taking old scams and just moving things around and changing a few little details to create whole new scams. The original variation of the scam is known as a tracking number scam. And basically what that means is if you had a shady seller, they could intentionally send a package to a wrong address that was in your zip code. And when this package was shipped, it would have valid tracking information which showed that it was delivered to that zip code. You never got your item as a buyer, and the seller got to keep all the money and keep the product that maybe they never even originally had. But basically, you would have tracking data from UPS or FedEx that showed that the package was delivered to your zip code. And what they would do is they would just get a package that was just literally junk, and they would send that to some random address that is in your zip code, maybe a block or two away, by using Google Maps, find an address that they can use that, they could send this package to. I should also mention that this new scam didn't actually occur to me. This scam was actually brought to my attention in that previous video that I created about a month or two ago about a scam on eBay. And somebody replied below in the comments, and then I went back and looked into it and found out that this is actually a real thing that's actually going on.
Here's a copy of the message that was left and that made me aware of this new scam. Credit to Ray the Russian. This is exactly what he said.
What about this scam? Buyer buys a product from me and I get paid and send him the item. Later he receives the item and says he doesn't like it and wants to return it. Okay, I initiate a return. eBay issues him a return label which he alters and puts someone else's name on it, and makes the address a couple of streets over and puts rubbish in the box and sends it back. The barcode scans as my address and tracking updates work as if it is coming to me and it's going to the same zip code, so all looks legit. What happens is the postal worker delivers it based on what the address on the front says and doesn't look at the scanned address. So it scans delivered, eBay forces the refund, and I am out the item and the money. A lot of my items are 500 Australian plus dollars items. How do you stop this from happening? I'm about ready to shut down my business and it's happening more and more, and I have spent days fighting eBay.
So now the way this works, and the reason why this is a variation of the last one, is it's still based on tracking information, but instead of this time having a shady seller, you actually have a shady buyer. So if you list an item for sale and then somebody buys it, then they get the item and then they say that they don't want it anymore. They decided to return it. So you as a seller go, okay, I'll send you a shipping label as you're required to through eBay, and then the buyer should basically slap that on a package and return the item. But what happened in this case was the buyer was just pretending like they wanted to return the item. They actually are keeping the item, and then what they do is they take the return label and they edit the information on it, like just the address, again to a address that's maybe around the corner from you, and they send back just anything, just junk, anything that shows a similar weight was delivered to your zip code, but the package was never actually received by you, and the buyer got to keep the item. You as a seller never got anything back, so you're not getting this box full of junk where it makes you suspicious and you report it to eBay, or you have any evidence to show pictures of what you got and show that to eBay. So you as a seller just think, okay, maybe the buyer decided not to return this. And what ends up happening is when the package is delivered a block or two away, eBay ends up issuing the buyer a refund. Now, once the buyer has their money back and they still have your product because this box of junk was delivered one block over from you or to your neighbor next door, 2 houses down, basically you are out everything, and then you have a tracking number that shows that the item was delivered back to your zip code. So to eBay, it looks like you got the item. You also don't have a picture of the junk that was sent maybe to you instead, so you could take a picture and say, hey, I didn't receive the monitor back that I sold on eBay. I actually received a box full of bricks. So there's no proof of anything, and eBay naturally, unfortunately, always sides with buyers. So in this case, the seller gets screwed. Hey, what's up everybody? I just want to jump in here real quick and remind you, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the red button below and subscribe so we can keep making content like this and you can keep enjoying it. I hope you guys love it. Thank you very much for subscribing. Now let's get back to the video. And this is one of those things where I'm not really sure how we fix this. As a seller, there's not much you can do. And on eBay side, they see that a package was returned, so I'm not sure what they can even do. So this is kind of a scary one, and this is one of those things, if you're selling something that's expensive, that's hundreds of dollars or maybe even thousands of dollars, you could get screwed and not get anything back at all. One thing that you might be able to do to try to fight this scam as a seller is you could go back to the carrier, the UPS, FedEx, or Postal Service, and try to get more information on where the exact address that the package was shipped to, and maybe even the weight of the package, because that may not have been similar to what you originally shipped. That may be something, and that's going to be a lot of work, but that may be something that you can try to get as far as evidence to try to present to eBay and try to get your money back. But either way, you're going to be very inconvenienced, and you're going to be out a lot of time, and you're going to be out the money. Another thing you can do is report the buyer to eBay, and that will at the very least flag the buyer so that if they try to do this again, maybe it will pop up an eBay system to show them that this person is persistently doing this and get them banned from eBay. But then they're just probably going to start another eBay account and do it all over again. So I don't really know what recourse you have as a seller other than reporting them and crossing your fingers with presenting as much evidence as you can gather to eBay, the evidence that you gathered from UPS and FedEx. But other than that, the scam is really scary, and if you're selling something really expensive, it can be very, very costly. Comment down below if you've been hit with this scam or any other scams that maybe you know about that are going on eBay. I'd like to hear about those, and maybe they'll be in my next video. That's it for today. I want to keep this video short and simple. Like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay positive.